Hi. Welcome if you're new here, and welcome back if you're returning from the old Among Us content I was making 2 years ago. If you are returning, thank you for your patience, obviously. Um, it's been a long old wait, and there is a lot that has changed. Although you can probably tell by my surroundings, there's a lot that hasn't. Um, I had a lot of life changes and kind of needed to focus inwards, which I will be going over during this video. A little bit, anyway. But I'm excited to be back and wanting to go over other plans moving forwards. So, let's start at the beginning. 3 years ago. In 2020, obviously, I was making content. My mother moved back home to Ireland as a stop off before she moved to Cyprus to retire. We all remember what happened next. And in the middle of that, she was diagnosed with cancer. Fuck cancer. She beat it, which put her at 2-0 across her lifetime. But then at her final chemo appointment, she caught the other thing. And became another statistic of a worldwide catastrophe, as were so many people. What this meant, of course, is that the safety net of always having somewhere to go if I myself became a victim of yet another of these once in a lifetime occurrences that happens every other month at this point was gone. There was nobody left that I could stay with in exchange for getting the garden done up, plastering holes in the walls, that kind of thing. For the first time in my life, I had no safety net. I look back now and recognize that I was wrong, of course. I have plenty of people around who would offer help if I asked for it. But that's how it felt at the time. I felt fundamentally alone on an existential basis. So the past 2 years have seen me trying to build in that safety for myself. I have been growing in my day job. I am an agile project manager by trade, for those of you who don't know. I've developed some. I've delivered. I haven't developed anything. I've delivered some massive projects, and the one that I'm working on at the moment is a £5.8 million whole of business change project. And between that and the plague and the probate issues that my brothers and I have been facing, which hopefully should sort themselves out in the next few months, my life's kind of been on pause. But all of that's nearly done now. And I'm starting to unpause my life. And there's maybe been some other changes. So, let's talk about that, I suppose. I have known for years that I'm trans. I knew as a child. I often spoke about being a girl on the inside. And during my teenage years, I just kind of buried that. The same old story as a million other trans people, right? And one that I will tell properly at some other point. But for right now, I'm on the hormones. Um, I've had some vocal training, so I can kind of do like the girl voice a little bit, but it's not natural, and I still have to like focus on it. And for some reason, I'm adding a bit of an American twang this time, and I've not really embedded it yet, but I'll get there eventually. And of course, the next thing on my list with that is looking down the barrel of procedures. My body is already changing, and it's big and exciting and terrifying, and I'm so looking forward to it. But I want to document it as I go. So I've been on blockers and estrogen for 2 months now, and I take pictures every Tuesday of the girls, um, just as like thing. But yeah, as I grow more into me, into the me that I always saw myself as, I'm starting to look at all of the things I wanted to do in life. I've tried my hand at a few new hobbies, including brewing. I brew mead now. Leather work. I've got like tools down here. Um, Woodworking. I sued my landlord at the last place. Um, D&D. Um, Programming. More gaming. And hey, look, I have hair now. It's like a year old and definitely needs a cut. It's in the bisexual colors. Because, hey, turns out I might be open to a lot of new stuff. Uh, for for those of you who know me, yes, I am still dating. Um, I've met some interesting and wonderful people over the past year, and I think in total I've added four new people to my dance card. Um, Long story short, it I've led a rich internal life over the past couple of years, and I now need to like expand that to a rich external life, and I want to go back to making content, and I want to bring all of that experience to the content I create. I don't just want to make gameplay videos, though that's probably going to be a part of it. Have you seen Baldur's Gate 3? I have friends who are streamers and who I want to share that time with. But I also really want to incorporate, like, my leftism, my trans journey. I want to offer advice that I've picked up on said trans journey, and my queer journey, and my poly journey, and as a project manager, I have a lot of ideas, and I want to make them reality. My next few videos may be a bit spaced out. I need to get back into the flow of creating, of editing, and I need to find space in my life in which I can consistently make things, both physically and just finding the time in life. But even that is going to inform some of what I talk about. One of the things I'm going to ask of you is to leave suggestions down below of things that you'd quite like to talk about. if there's questions you have about transitioning, about being queer rather than just LGBT, we'll come to that. Um, Relationship questions, etc., etc., whatever. Any of it. Or if you really want, you could share a story of some hardship that you've faced over the past couple of years. I want to try and start building a supportive and radically accepting community um, that abides by the paradox of tolerance. And lastly, I want to say thank you for bearing with me. It's a long road, and whilst in some ways I'm coming to the end of it, in other ways I'm just starting out a new journey. And there's still so much more to come. But the fact that people are still here is really hopeful. Anyway, that's enough from me. And sign off. Remember to do the YouTube things. And until next time, when I will talk about toolboxes. Ciao.